You mentioned the LEAP study a couple of times. For those who aren't familiar with it, can you just explain briefly what that was? And I'm assuming that was one of the huge catalysts for this real sea change in how we're approaching introduction of allergenic foods.
Yes, so just as a prelude to the LEAP study,
Hmm.
what prompted the LEAP study were a number of thoughts and ideas and observations that came
Hmm.
together, one of which was a study I conducted with my colleagues in the UK and in Israel, where I'd observed at a lecture I gave in Israel around the year 2000 that they were not seeing peanut allergy there in Israel. And I wondered whether that was real or not. And we did a study comparing about 5,000 UK, London-based Jewish babies and similar number of Jewish babies in Israel, who therefore shared a common ancestral background. And we
Sure.
found the rate of peanut allergy in the children in the UK was tenfold higher than in Israel, where it barely existed. And we also
Wow.
found that the Israeli diet was introducing peanut in the form of a snack, a puff snack, as of about 4 months of age, 3 to 4 months of age, quite regularly. So that was really ecological observation. We then needed to go to a randomized controlled trial, which
Sure.
is a much higher level of evidence. So the LEAP study, which stands for Learning Early About Peanut Allergy, and was funded by the Immune Tolerance Network and NIH largely, but also other charitable organizations, um, randomized 640 babies. These babies all had severe eczema or egg allergy. We chose the highest possible risk babies who we
Hmm.
knew had a good chance or bad chance, but high risk of developing peanut allergy. And we enrolled them at 4 to 11 months of age. Half of them um, ate peanut snacks or peanut butter from 4 months of age regularly. The other half avoided it. This was continued all the way to 5 years of age. And we found really there was, well, very roughly, I'm approximating numbers, about 20% peanut allergy in the avoidance arm and just over 2% in the roughly numbers, depending on which, but if you look at the intention to treat analysis, there was close to a 90% reduction in peanut allergy. So
Wow.
the early introduction almost eliminated peanut allergy. We
Yeah.
then wondered whether this effect would last, because a lot of things don't last with immunity. And we removed peanuts from the diet of all these babies, and they were reevaluated 1 year later at 6 years of age, and the protective effects remained. And then we told the babies, or no longer the babies, the families to do as they like and the children to do as they like, to ad lib, eat peanut. And we just published this very recently in New England Journal of Medicine Evidence. And what that showed was the protective effects conferred by eating peanuts in the first years of life remained all the way until the age of 13. And at that point, children were eating as little or as many peanuts as they wanted. So it shows a long-lasting immunological tolerance, and this goes back to the phenomenon of oral tolerance induction, which has been observed in many studies, actually in animal models, going back over many, many decades before the whole problem of allergies arose. So that was a LEAP study. Um, the other thing, you mentioned fear. Yes, fear is very, very important. I always speak to my patients about fear, and naturally, for a parent, their baby has eczema. There's a family history of allergies. They're scared about giving allergenic foods, especially peanuts, to babies. So I mean, the line I use, I can't remember which American presidents said there's nothing to fear but fear itself. It certainly was one of them. I think
Yeah.
it might have been Theodore Roosevelt, but forgive me
Yes.
if I'm misquoting him.
That's
But
okay.